we go. Alrighty. Happy Monday morning. Turn on the compressor. Okay, so continuing on this, I spent the morning sanding the bottom of the base flat. It was warped quite a bit. I'm not sure, partially from the 3D printing and also partially from filling with resin. So I spent the morning getting that flat because it wobbled quite a bit. I spent a little more time just kind of going over parts. So I'm going to throw some primer on all this stuff. All the water off of that since I just got done washing it. That board is dystopian. So I'm going to get some primer on this stuff, and I'll have to let it dry for a little while. And then I'll check out my prep work. And then I should be able to start painting today. So the go-by for this piece my client sent me is just the newest Archangel from Sideshow. So that's kind of what my go-by is for colors and stuff. The trickiest part is going to be the skull. If they want like gold-plated, I'll have to do my best to get a gold-plated look. Anytime you're dealing with chrome or plated metal, most challenging things to paint. And also this piece, I'm not sure how it is when it's not scaled up, but this has been scaled up to half scale. Usually Wicked stuff is in 1/6 scale. This is a really tiny base, and there's a lot of weight up here, and he wants to lean forward. Now, the tips of the wings actually touch the table. I'm not sure they're supposed to do that, but they do. So, I think they're supposed to do that because, let me get off this turntable, because this turntable is not exactly, maybe my workbench is in the flattest surface, but, so yeah, I spent about 30, 45 minutes just sanding the bottom of this, and it's a lot flatter than it was. Put that in. There's a lot of weight leaning forward on this guy. And I'm assuming the wings are supposed to touch the. Yeah, I guess they are. And it's hard to tell in the renders, but with the wings touching the floor, the table a little bit, yeah, the base sits flat. Okay, so my initial thought was going to reach out to the clients and it's like, oh, they're quarter scale? Okay, so this is scaled up. I know those figures are 1/6 scale. Um, anyway, what was I talking? Oh, so the base sits flat now, and the wings do touch a little bit, and it just keeps them from wobbling around because the base initially was really, it was curved, had a vex curve to it on the bottom. So yeah. Anyway, so now I'm going to get some primer on everything and see how we look. My main concern is kind of like on this head. There's actually some decent print lines I'm seeing here. I don't want to sand on this too much because there's this nice texture on here. So I'm gonna spray some primer on there. If I have to, I'll go add some texture with Mr. Surfacer 500 and a brush. I'll just kind of stipple it, and it should mimic that texture pretty close. It won't be exact, but it'll be pretty close. Yeah, so we got all the holes filled on Friday. I would say 95% of the prep work done on Friday, so pretty good. I thought it'd take me a little bit longer to do the prep on this. You never know 3D prints. So until I get some primer on here, I won't be able to see if I got what else I got to do. So that's the next step. Some Bondo. Let's see right here. So I'll reach out to these guys. This is for Barbara and Ohani, Jara, and I've got an apocalypse post here too for them. This is half scale. I think because they're asking, beginning of the year, asking, we're going to do our project. So I'm going to see if I can do 2 of their projects back to back. I should have asked if I could have done back to back because I could have done the prep on both of these and had made one big mess for both of them. So, because the prep work is very messy. Yeah, so now it's a matter of getting primer on here. So I'll go have some spot putty work to do on the bottom here. Again, you really don't see it, but since it is kind of visible, I will work on getting this bottom part looking as good as I can. So good old Stylorez. Let's see, I think this guy is spraying right now. I use water HP. Should be clean this week. Yeah. It does. So I see this clog on the water. I got some stuff in it. Okay, these are good. Looking at really clogged out. Well, that was really smart. I broke off Q-tip. Yeah. Spray cap. Hopefully get that out. fell. Poop. I got some. Somewhere I got some small drill bits. Where are they? Excuse me. The trail. That's not one of my smartest moves. I got a freaking toothpick stuck in the spray cap. I mean, I tried to get it out. Shit. Nope, nope. Maybe I fixed it. Alright, sweet. Alright, cool. So my gun, one of the sides of the spray cap, the airflow was clogged. So I went in there with a toothpick to try to dislodge it. The toothpick broke off inside. So then I had to go in there with a micro bit and drill out the toothpick. Oh my gosh. So yeah. It's working now. I hardly ever use this little drill bits once in a while. Alright, so we go spray primer on everything. In the spray booth. And then we gotta let it dry for 20 minutes or so before I can do any more work with it. So it's just a matter of kind of hanging out and waiting. I put on a pretty good coat of primer this first round. So this one's to dry for a while. So my airbrush just got clogged up again. It's working now. This area needs some more attention. Hang on. Get out of one of my light stands I use for hanging parts. a lot of primer on these, so it's going to be. Yeah, they can be. Especially since I'm really bad about cleaning mine on a regular basis. So all these are drying. I'll take the opportunity to try to. Primer. Alright. So he's got a really good coat of primer. I need to let this dry for quite a bit. So far, the only kind of major thing that's bugging me are the print lines on the, not this head, but the other one. The one print line on this guy is not terrible. It's sanded out probably mostly. It's on the unmasked head. We'll see if I can fix it a little bit. Got some support on the hair still I gotta get. But the Style Wars primer is really good. It's actually very sandable. But Nick, this head has the worst of it. I'm not sure if I'll show up in camera. Some print lines right here. Try to sand them out as best I can. Actually, no, this primer's not so bad. I'm gonna go in there with some a little bit of the skin there. I'm gonna try to get some Mr. Surfacer 500 and just kind of stipple it on to cover up those print lines. See if that helps. That should kind of mimic that texture a little bit. While it's drying, let's dig with the airbrush some more. Try to get to spray again. Sprayed enough for what I needed to do for the primer. So leaving a comment on my videos from like, gosh, I know, like 8 years ago. And Stylorest primer, it likes to clog your airbrush and stuff. I love the primer, but it is kind of finicky. It likes to clog your airbrush, but it's my go-to primer, even though with its issues. Like I said, I used to use the Krylon Max primer out of the can. I liked it because it covered really well. It dried flat. It was sort of sandable. It wasn't the easiest primer to sand, but it was inexpensive and it did a really good job. Then they changed the formula, and then it doesn't seem to dry. And if you do try to sand it, it's really gunky. So yeah, it's a bummer. They changed their formula. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you right. So it shows in camera. See how it's spraying. There's air coming out of this side of the air cap, but there's no air coming out of this side of the air cap. So it like sprays to the right, or to the left, depending on how I had it. So I got it unclogged initially, now it's clogged again. So there's something in there that's kind of loosened itself up and then got lodged back in. So let's get it out. I think the air cap on my other. I've got 2 of these airbrushes. The other one I need spray. I thought I cleaned it out. What is this? Hello? Oh, never mind. They didn't want to talk to me. Someone from Wisconsin. I picked it up because my aunt's got a Wisconsin number. She lives in Texas. Five point oh. That's a huge. That's like this. That's a huge. That's like even bigger than you would use on for spraying automotive like a car. 5.0. That's huge. I assume you mean 0.5 because 5.0 is like literally fire hose. That's what's on these Iwata HPTHs is a 0.5. So it's really good for spraying. I'm spraying Automotive 2K on. I spray 2K on big pieces. This is a great gun for that. Yes, there's Duncan here. Let's see here. I just really did a deep clean on this last week. And it's with Stylorest, it likes to separate, and even when you shake it up, there's still chunks. That's my only gripe about it. So, I made a comment on someone made a comment on Badger Facebook page, and said, "I love Stylorest, you just gotta shake the ever living shit out of it." And Ken Badger replies like, "Send me your address, I'll send you a paint shaker." So, I got a paint stir and all that stuff. I still got me and Ken Badger. I haven't heard from him in a long time. He used to go to Wonderfest, but he hasn't been there in probably 6-7 years. Yeah, a 5.0 will definitely not clog. Might put a little more material than you want, but all right, let's see if we get this. Air cap unplugged. I got about 20 minutes. I gotta wait at least for this stylus to dry to put on a really good coat. So it's the right side now. It's clogged. Oh, shit. I just dropped. So, what's up, Mando? Something stuck in that air cap. See it right there at the right at the tip. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been a huge fan since like '92. So I listened to him back in high school. Yes, my buddy Jaime, who I've known since seventh grade, I think it was sixth grade. He's I think he's the only guy he got me into Dream Theater. I got him into Rush, and then he got me into Dream Theater. And then yeah, he's like a few months ago. He's like, yeah, for your 50th birthday, I'm gonna get us concert tickets to the Dream Theater concert. It's like, sweet. He also got the VIP Okay, which is kind of, it's really freaking expensive for what it is. So I think you pay like $250 for each a piece, or $275 a piece, and you go through the line once to get your photo taken. It's literally you're up there for 2 seconds. You say hi, whatever, and then you go through the line and get your stuff autographed. That was kind of cool. I actually talked to John Myung for a little bit, which is surprisingly, since he's he's the least talking about of all of them. But he was looking at my guitars, like, oh, what kind of guitars is this? Like, oh yeah, so and so plays this type of guitar. Like, man, I haven't played in like 20 years. Like, oh, you should pick it up again. It's like, yeah, it's just, it's like, it's hard with kids and work, and it's like I used to be in a band and did all that fun stuff. And he's like, yeah. Um, so it's kind of cool to talk to him. And James LeBrie was sick a few weeks ago. He actually had to cancel an Atlanta show. I see it right there. Wherever that is. Let's get it out. But one thing I know is just not going to spray on that side. Let me just order another air cap. See if this one works on this airbrush. It's much better. Main issue. Oh, both my air caps are clogged. The one was spraying. Oh, this guy's spending a day on these fuckers. I tore this one down last week too. Oh. maybe I could send these into Tom Grossman. He could do a really deep dive clean on them for me. He's got all the parts to fix it if I need. No, needle's not bent. It's just they're just clogged. I'm terrible at cleaning my shit. So bad. Now my needle is bent on my main airbrush right now. I straightened it out like 5 times in the past 2 weeks. Got a so one of these little airbrush needle sharpeners. And so what I do is if the tip gets bent, I try to straighten it out best I can with the needle nose pliers. Use that over and over and over again. I can get pretty damn close to being perfect. Close enough for what I do. And I'm not an illustrator, so I'm not doing super tight stuff most of the time. So yeah, like I'll paint on a Friday and forget to clean my airbrush out on on Friday, and then I come back on Monday. It's like shit. This right here is annoying with this. It's definitely in the air cap because I can spin it and the pattern stays the same. Frustrating. My guess is that there's some 2K clear in their log, and maybe I just soak this in some thinner for a while. Or it's sitting thinner for a good portion of the day, and maybe it'll loosen up. Okay. Stop parting with it. Okay. Let's look at some parts here. Yes, the base. Good. What's the other one that's base painted? Pretty cool for small base. I haven't primed the bottom yet, but that's nothing big deal. I'll do that in black. And this base actually, something, I don't know, it'd look cool if it's just bronze. Hell, I don't know. See what they want to do. If they want color, it's metal. And this bottom side is actually not bad. I got some spot putty work to do in a few spots here, and I got some deep sanding scratches. I'll sand those out. Not too bad. Supports here I gotta take care of. Shave them off. chest. Your big bus, you need to fill it up. What do you use when the base is so too small? You want to fill the whole bust or just the base? I don't fill stuff unless I feel it actually needs to be filled. A lot of people want their stuff filled solid, but like, why? It's all it does is add to the shipping cost. A lot of times stuff doesn't need to be filled. I filled this base because this guy's really big and the base is so small. I wanted some extra weight, help it keep him leaning forward, which did help. Blades. So I used 2-part casting resin to fill everything. I stay away from anything that's got water in it. I don't use any plaster. I don't use Durham's water putty. You don't want anything, in my opinion, don't use anything with water in it because your resin is going to absorb that moisture and probably crack eventually. Anytime I fill anything with like plaster or water, Durham's water putty on a 3D print, it cracked months later. Luckily, I never did that on anything for anyone. I was on my own pieces when I first started 3D printing. It's like, hey, I'm going to use Durham water putty, so it's cheap. But 6 months, 8 months later, when I was going through and cleaning out all my 3D prints I wasn't doing anything with, they all had cracked. So I used 2-part casting resin. So there's some supports here on the chest. I'm just using a brand new blade to kind of shave them off. Don't want to sand it because it's got a lot of great texture in the base and in this piece. So if I start sanding, I'll lose that texture. But I think I can just shave these off. Then when I go back and prime it, you shouldn't be able to see it, I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, when I'm doing 3D prints, I do my best to get the cleanup as best I can in a timely manner. None of my cleanup is perfect, but my goal is to, once it's all put together and it's on display, you can't see anything that's like just sticks out glaring, like, oh, there's print lines or support marks or, you know, whatever. Even on stuff I get from factories, like even from ownage, when I get in here real tight with an optimizer, I'll see I'll see print lines, I'll see support marks, even though they're really good stuff. So, you know, really human. I get. That won't fucking be good. Let's see what's in here. Let's see what here. So yeah, so when filling things, the only reason I fill stuff is if I need the weight because the whatever's on top of the base is really heavy and wants to fall over or lean, whatever. So that's when I'll add weight to that. Or if I'm doing a figure, and like a good example is like the bishop I did last year or whatever that was. He had this outstretched arm holding that gun. So what I did was I filled up the from the wrist like up to the what do you call this, the tricep with resin, so I can put a rod in there. So I need to add internal support, or if I need the weight just to help balance something. But I don't fill stuff just for the sake of filling it. Yeah, a lot of people want their stuff. Like one guy's like, "Hey, I want you to do this, but I want it filled solid." Like, I'll do it, but it's going to cost you like just to fill. It's going to cost you a couple $100. It's like, what do you mean? It's like that's how much the resin's going to cost. It's going to cost me, and the time to do it. So I got to fill the holes. And it's like I'll fill it. You don't need it filled. Almost sometimes I have like on 1/6 scale figures, the smaller guys. I will fill those solid a lot of times because the walls are pretty thick. There's not a lot of space inside to begin with, and that just makes it one solid piece. So I have done that on 1/6 scale. But this big stuff, yeah, I don't fill it solid. There's no need to. Okay, so this, I'm gonna let this dry a little bit longer. I'm gonna give it a little. I'm gonna do some spot putty here and there. Actually, I gotta try to put that on now. I give it a light sanding here and there. Surprisingly, that's all I really need. Let's just spot this and spot this, and then hopefully that'll be. Put that on with the spreader. Let it dry for a little bit. Yeah, so the 3D prints are cracking for a couple of reasons. Either they didn't cure the resin inside. That's the main culprit, is they didn't cure the resin inside. So I'm just doing just like a few little imperfections here. I'm gonna fill in some of this spot putty. This is air dry, so this will take a little while to dry, but it's pretty thin. Everybody else is actually pretty. I'm actually surprised I don't need more than that. There's quite a bit of work on this bottom side. Okay, other than that, this is pretty much ready for a light sanding and the last round of primer, I think. These little supports here in the chest should rub up just fine. So put that to the side. Let's look at this head. I got one camera go today. There's a print line right here. There's a support here. If you work on, you do any 3D printing and you work on 3D prints, then you know where to work. Then you know where to look for support marks and supports and things. Any undercuts, eyes, noses, chins. I really need to get this skull painted today because that's got to dry. Because I think that's going to need a 2K on top. Let's see. Yeah, so he wants this gold. Plated. Let's YouTube it. How to paint gold plate. Gold.
So here I got you guys a quick roll. I've done about a 5-to-1 mixture, so 5 parts candy, 5 parts clear, 1 part candy, and then we added about 10% 4011 reducer right here just to help it flow and give us a nice, really fine top coat. Really smooth, really good job of just pretty much sticking to anything, including like RC bodies which are just plastic. They're really smooth. Createx sticks really well to that, so I have full confidence that this will stick onto here. Obviously, it's like paint, so if you scratch it, it's going to get scratched, but obviously if you take care of it, it will also last. But what we're going to do is make sure we're going to clean this off very well, really good, right? And then we're just going to settled. Then you can do with chemical. Candy colors, again, you can obviously do this into any mixing.
Yeah, I always want to try these right now. Let's see, this is Createx Candy 2.0.
Settled. It's nice glossy coat. So, again, hopefully this helps you guys out. This is just a quick tip. Candy colors, again, obviously do this into any kind of color chrome. So if we wanted a pink chrome, whatever color chrome, as long as you have the color candy for it, it's very, very, very possible to do that. So as you see, you can see my reflection right there. So it comes out really good. And yeah.
Well, what candy color are you using?
That's here.
Say what color?
YouTube, what's happening? Here I got you guys a quick tip, just in case this ever comes up for you. This is something you might want to do to your own vehicle. And you can't find it. So
anyway, the first thing I gotta do is I gotta get the skull part into chrome. So and the Createx is a water-based chrome, so you should be able to spray it over. So let's do this. Let's get this in some black. And then clear it. This airbrush is not working either because I'm stupid. I tried to clean it out. Oh. Right, so I'm just going to get some black stone on this first. Actually, let's out of this. Yeah, I just looked it up. They only called gold. You have to look up like sunset yellow or something. First step is get black down. Gloss it. Spray your chrome, whatever chrome that's going to be. There are a couple chromes I can use. I got Createch. I think I have some Vastex. Tends to do pretty good over the gloss black. I also got the stuff from Pactro, which is a automotive or a RC car body paint. Never used the Createx UVL clear. I know a lot of guys use it. It's the water-based clear coat. That's like my 2K because man, this works out so well. But the UVL is supposed to kind of do the same thing. So this head is some painting. Stick some sleep putty up on the key and then put all on my sticks. There's that. The Createx gloss, high gloss. Well, I can't buff the skull. I can't wet sand and buff the skull. There's no way you sand through in 1 second. So I need something I can lay down that's gonna gloss out right away. I think you can spray 2K over UVL's clear. Let me see. After it's cured enough. You spray 2K gloss over clear coat over. You spray 2K gloss clear coat over Createx UVL's clear. Using Catalyst 2 as a top coat for added durability and protection, especially when applying Createx paints on certain. Yeah. Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, not as durable as a 2K. So you got to use that first, and then do your 2K. Yeah, it's kind of like when it's kind of like using the aqua gloss from what do you call it? All Clad. It's a water-based clear. You put it down, you let that dry for overnight, and then you can spray 2K on it. I've done that before too. So yeah, same principle. Okay, so this head right here is the one that's got me worried the most with these print lines right here. So I'm gonna try something real quick. Hopefully we can hide this a little bit. So I'm just gonna use some Mr. Surfacer 500, which is their thickest primer they have. I'm gonna use it straight out of the jar. I'm just gonna stipple it on these areas that are bugging me. It's a little bit on the skin, but it's not to the point where I want to mess with it. Yeah, any candy is gonna take is like that. You just can't hose it on. You gotta build it up real slow. Any true candy. I do have some of their. I bought some of their transparent colors, but they're not their candy 2.0 for the Eternity Bus, and it was like super thin. It was like it's cool. Like the second I started spraying it. So like I've got this is yellow, but it's not. I want a gold. I'll have to look at someone look at the colors and I can get out Amazon probably get it by tomorrow. Really like to get it sprayed today with the candy if I could, but I gotta clear it first. And if I do a 2K, then I gotta clear it. Yeah, so candies can take several days just to do a candy. So like I did the Century and Ares statue a few years ago, and the client had me paint. There's two helmets. One is on Ares, and then another one goes on the alternate base, the small base. So he had me paint the helmets two ways. The one on Ares, I did like a candy gold. Turned out really good. I painted the other one a different color, and he comes back with, "Oh, I really want. Oh, we should make those match." I can do that, but it's gonna take me like 2 days. And so it depends if you want to spend that kind of money to repaint that one helmet to match. That's why it's important you kind of know what you want, so you don't have to spend money going back and redoing things. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little shitty brush here I got, full flat brush, straight from the bottle. I'm gonna kind of come in here and stipple this on top of these print lines. Hopefully this will hide it a little bit. This man, it's actually. See what happens. These aren't so bad where I need to like make a texture stamp and putty and do all that stuff. I've had to do that before. That's a pain in the ass. Texture stamps. Ugh. I'm gonna do that shit. But sometimes you have to. So I'm probably not gonna get rid of these 100%, but I want to reduce them a little bit. Time you 3D print anything like a bowl or something like this, there's a good chance you're gonna get some layer lines. And I'm going past the line just to blend this out. I got to reprime it, it doesn't stick out that I've done something to it. It's actually like there's like only one or two that are really bugging me. I'm not gonna kill myself to is that 100%. Yeah, I can actually get the UVLs clear at Hobby Lobby. I think they actually might have some of the Candy 2.0s too. Let me go by there today and take a look. Got some 411 reducer. So hopefully this dipping action leaves some texture in the primer. I think this primer is actually reducible, but it doesn't seem as thick as it normally is for 500. Pull up a little bit here and there. Luckily this is on the back side, so again, it's in an area where unless you spin it around, you're not going to see it. So I have to make a judgment call. Like, okay, how much time and cost is it to fix this area that you're not going to see when it's on display? You know, so it's that kind of thing. I don't want to sand anymore because I already lost some texture from my initial cleanup. I'm trying to get these out. I'm going to do this, and if they're still there a little bit, I'm not going to really stress about it too much. Let's reduce it a little bit. You can also do this if I've done this with the spot putty, the red spot putty. You mix in a little. You can either do a little lacquer thinner or even a little bit of acetone with that spot putty. And you can kind of do the same technique here if you're, if you have a texture that's similar to what this looks like, and you can do it with spot putty. And then usually you have to go back and give it just a very, very light sanding and knock down the peaks. It's the worst right here. But luckily, when this is on the bust, the wings wrap around, and you really don't see this side of the head. So I think once it's all painted and put together, I think we'll be okay. As it dries, I can actually go in here and add more texture because once it picks some of this up, it has a little more texture to it. All right, we're gonna let that dry. And then put some more primer on it, see what it looks like. I'll probably just leave it. I'm not gonna kill myself. Something like that. Yeah, the video I just watched is like mix it with the UV clear as the reducer or whatever. Other than that, this head looks good, I think. Yeah, any print lines that were in this, just kind of trim the sliders. I just sanded out. It came out really well. So that looks good. This part should be good to go. That's good to go. Last head. Oh, shit. Ugh. Dumbass. Look what those any gloss on that. Let's see if I fucked up the black. Okay. Alright. This guy. I'm looking up underneath the eyelets here where I know there would be supports, and there are. This. too aggressive. Go super. Oh, I know what. Face. Could probably get the skin tones done on these guys today. It's almost the same blue I used on Mr. Freeze. And the wings are just silver. I could probably chrome those. That might be cool. Alright. Not too worried about cleaning up that in there. I don't want to waste any time on that. Get that here. These strands should have some sort of support underneath them. Like that there. Where's the cure time on the UV all clears? I probably just let that cure before we spray too thin on it. Anyone know? Probably overnight. Excuse me. Hey, thing up here. I never get it all. I think that's going to work for now. More than likely, when I go to start dry brushing this hair, some supports may pop out then also, and that always happens. So I'll just have to sand down the time and touch up the paint. All right, so now I can go give this a bath. I can go give this a bath again. I need to sand this down. See, this is dry. I wonder if I just do this bottom side just flat. Maybe do the best. I put in a really good wet coat of primer on the underside of this. Got some pretty heavy, deep sanding scratches from all the putty work to fill the holes and things. This fine sanding sponge is like a 400 grit sanding paper, which is pretty good, but I'll hit it again with this ultra fine to just flat. Alright, that a bath, give this a bath. Oh. This one's going to spray some primer. That's ready to go. I think the base is closer to the cleanup I gotta do. I think I got this pretty good initially. And that's good to go. Okay. Hair dragons. Okay. Now for clear coat on that guy, I'm going to use Mr. Color Clear. GX Clear on it. Right enough. I should. It's got a candy in it. Just enough to do this. Something. Okay, so I'm going to use Mr. Color GX Clear. We'll see how slick I can get it. I'd really like to get this chromed today. If I use this, I can let it dry for a few hours. And then get chromed. We're going to spray booth and do that. Just enough of it to do it. Alright, so I got two nice wet coats of clear on there. I'm going to let that set up for a little bit. Let it settle out, see what it looks like. Looks really good right now, so I think it's going to work. This looks like this is going to help take care of those print lines a little bit. So I'm going to let that clear coat set up for about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and I'll go put on another coat. Watch this video on. Okay, so the wings are just kind of like a, they're not chrome. Like a, I get the wings done today. Check those out, see if there's any more cleanup on them. I don't think there is. Okay, then I see. Start away. Amazing what primer will do for you. Oh yeah. So for the wings, just so they're not just boring one color, I'm going to get a coat of like silver on them. I'll seal them. They'll do an oil wash on them. They'll dry brush them, and hopefully that'll give it some dimension and interest rather than just being one solid color. Yeah. I'll just spot on these because I'm having to, it was really gone. Yeah, that looks good. Spot prime those a few areas on that one. And then we'll go check out the clear on the skull. I'll do 2 more nice wet coats of clear on that. And I'll let it dry for a few hours. I should be able to get the chrome on at least today. I really like to get the gold on. But you know, I'll be experimenting. Should get some spoons prepped for it so I can test it out. I'd really love to electroplate stuff. I've looked into doing that, but to buy all the necessary equipment and everything would be very expensive, and I don't think I'd get a lot of requests for it. Okay. I swear, selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace is a nightmare. Selling some of my old guitar stuff that I have not used in literally 20 years since I recorded my band's album when I was 30. It's sitting in my attic. I got a decent little amp that I use for. I've got a couple Boss pedals that I haven't used in forever. Okay, that looks pretty good. I love my new optimizer. I got it for Christmas. Oh my gosh, it's like the one I had before. So not good. Just dirty. I couldn't see anything through it. I got a proper optimizer finally after doing this for how many years? Okay, that looks really good. Those will get spot primed. I'm gonna throw some more clear on the skull. I think this is ready. Base is ready to go. I just need to know how they want it painted. Awesome. My initial thoughts are going to do most of this like in a metallic. And then do the skulls, obviously, bone and stuff. I don't know. Pretty good. Getting better at initial. Okay, got a little spot for the top of that skull. Getting better at initial cleanup. It's more clear on the skull. Okay. It wants to kind of like the apocalypse face. Perfect. Okay. Here's the skull after a few rounds of just a color clear. We'll let that set up for a few hours, and we'll put chrome on it. Oh, let's see. I just missed a call from a client. Wow. What was that? What's up, man?
Hey man, sorry, it's hard for me.
Sorry, I was muted. I was talking to my client. And I thought I hit the unmute, but I didn't. My bad. We're gonna start off with this light blue. This is Vallejo Air Light Blue, straight out of the bottle. It doesn't spray the best straight out of the bottle, but for a base coat, it's fine. It's actually like the highlight color on them. Renders. They're supposed to be a highlight color. Let that dry. There's a lot of bouncing around today. Okay. So for this, I used, if I'm going to stick with kind of what I did on the Apocalypse base. Yeah, I got to put them on this here. You don't want to do, but stuff down. have. This thing. I'm mixing up my own. I'm gonna have to go to the store and get some paint for them. I have it. But I need the base coat. I'm gonna do the metallic first on this. They will support there in this. Oh my gosh. Like a little one, like huge. Yeah, these so-called air paints. I mean, technically they do spray straight out of the airbrush, but not very well. So, some of the base coating, I'm not going to worry about thinning it. I was doing some other type of painting out. Okay. We're going to kind of get bronzy gold color down first. This will get sealed and they'll wash and then dry brush with gold. And then I'll probably bring out some of the other details. with some like steel and other metallics. Okay, we got that kind of base coated. That's a base coating right now. Oh shit! I'm a dumbass. Got metallic on the. There's a homie. What's up, man? Yeah. So if you, I know you got to work and you can't hang out all day, Ohami, but um, like I have like one of my other clients, Tony. He usually turns me on and watches while I'm working, and I talk about my process, and then he gives me suggestions as I talk about what I think I want to do and stuff. So yeah, I know you got to work. You can't do that all day, but it is helpful because then you can, oh, before I do something that I may not, that he may not like or may not want, I can kind of do that and then I have to go back and redo stuff. Yeah. All right, so I was just dumb. I just got metallic on the face, so hopefully I got some more blue. I'll go back and cover that up because I'm stupid. Luckily, these paints cover really well. I do have quite a bit of paint on these faces. I want to let those dry kind of naturally. Let me check on the wings. Maybe I can seal those. I'm probably going with this contrast color. I think it's the same way I did Mr. Freeze. It turned out perfect. The Mr. Freeze blue is almost exactly what I'm seeing um, in the photos and the renders. I don't remember how did I do a video on that? Let's go see if I did a video on that. Let's go see if I can check out how I did something. One reason, good thing for the video is I can go back and see how I did something. Okay. So it's helpful. Let's go back and unify. Pretty sure I did videos on Mr. Freeze. Oh, alright. Did. Yay. Okay. Let's start painting. Ah, yes. What do I do? So I basically go light blue. I just said the same thing. Just because it says air doesn't mean it's very well. What do I do with the, oh, I used, okay. Used the big crystal. Oh, no, they don't have that amount. Shit. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna go seal the wings. Seal this back plate. Dry. Seal the base. That's got to dry. This washes. The advantage to using Mr. Color Clear when you can get the spray slick is that this is already dry. So I'm just also deciding to put my fingernail on it and it's not leaving a mark, so I can spray chrome on this. So, the question is, which chrome am I going to use? Let's see. Knowing you're going to spray candy on top, think we're going to go with the plate silver for Mr. Color. Since I'm going on top of the Mr. Color paint. We'll see how chromy we can get this bullet. I wish I had this. Should. Or if I just use my Pactra paint. I think I may do that. Alexa, set a 5-minute timer. 5 minutes. So I'm laying down some chrome on the face. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Hopefully it turns out. Okay, so what I used on this initially, I'm out of for the shading, which is a bummer because it looks so damn good. Oh, look who's this. This is pretty similar. So it's going to be a little punchy at first. Jesus. So contrast paint is really saturated transparent. Just gotta be careful with this. Anytime there's clothing up against skin, I always have a little shadow. I go back and I got hit that with the light blue. There's some spots where the bronze got on there, or the metallic, and I didn't get it covered. So we'll go back and do that here in a second. Let's do this one. Pretty close to where it needs to be. Alexa, how much time on my timer?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 5-minute timer.
Alexa, cancel timer. Alexa, set a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes, starting now.
It'll make it a little punchy than it needs to be. So I turn on the air pressure, and I'm just going to kind of go back over this other, because I kind of got the shading on. Alexa, stop timer. That's pretty much spot on to the renders. So that's what we're gonna go with. That looks really good. So I did 3 light coats on my chrome spray paint, and this is what we got. I'll polish this up. It'll get a little shinier. It's not going to be like mirror chrome, but it's going to be a really good base for candy gold. And I'll show you what I used on that. So it's the Traxxas Pro Graphics paint. I used this on the Apocalypse I did. The not the Age of Apocalypse, not the Wicked 3Ds, but the other ones. The DXA Design Apocalypse as a base. It works pretty good. So I'm going to put this somewhere where it doesn't get dinged up. And I'm actually, I should have done this earlier. I'm going to paint up some spoons real quick. And I really don't care if they're super shiny. I just want to get some. I'm just gonna throw some black primer on these. I'm not gonna worry about glossing them, but I can get them in the chrome paint, and then I can test the candy on top of it. You know, the color. I don't care about the shininess of it. Do that real quick. Res. Actually, I might not gloss them. Why not? I'm gonna take that one. So I just got some spoons here with some black primer on it. Let that dry for a few minutes. So get those chromed. I should have done that when I chromed the skull. I didn't. So I'm stupid. All right. I'm going to go back and do some other masthead. I might be able to, because the kind of reddish trim, that needs to go gloss, or semi-gloss, where the suit needs to just stay a flat / matte blue. Same thing on this head. We did the other one. We're just going to make it pretty punchy. Okay. Can't say my left. I'm painting. I know. Puppy dog wants to say. Here. Come up in there. Oh, I'm sad of you. Stinker. Say hi. Hello. My painting partner. Stinker. We'll take a minute to give belly rubs. How about that? We'll take a little break. A little belly rub break. Not too long. Not too long. I keep looking. Too bad you can't paint. You could be a good helper. Okay, time to put you down. We're hanging out. Do I need a little bit up here for you so you can come hang out with me? Alright, go back to the light blue. Getting towards air pressure quite a bit. Here from the top down mostly. Trying to get some zenithal lighting. And then back up and hit straight on. See if I kill it too much. back and do this one. Actually looks a little bit better than this one. I may go back and hit this one a little bit more with the shading. Just a little bit. Kill a little bit of it. Kind of just back and forth until I find the right balance of highlight and shadow. But these are the colors I need. And they're perfect. You just blended this a little too much. I'm gonna do it again. More. Choco, do you want a pillow? Get your pillow. You can hang out. Get your pillow. Here we go. Hold on. There you go. There you come hang out with me. Come on. Get in. I'm gonna hit this one again a little bit. And we'll find it again. Hopefully we'll look good. I don't even know if anyone's still there. Bueller? Okay. One more round of blending of the light blue. I think we'll have it. Always it is contrast paint. It's pretty expensive. Little jar's like $7. Yeah, $8 for this whole thing of contrast paint. Redunculous. So backing way off. Maybe it right there. Don't want to touch it anymore. Okay. That looks pretty damn close to the renders. I'm happy with that. Pretty damn good. Not bad for a Pollock. Okay, so now I can seal those. And then get this blonde here. That's blonde a bitch. I hate blonde. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and gloss coat these spoons. 1230. Let's gloss them out here. Don't get up. You just stay right there. Okay? Stay. I'm coming back. Coming back. Stay just here. Hey, come on, sit. What? Lay down. Lay down. Do the clear coat. Well, let me go seal these real quick. That's right. That's right here. I've just started using them. They're transparent paint and they're really saturated. So I've only used them a few times, and the few times I've used them, they're awesome. But they're crazy expensive. So if miniature painters use them, they use them as washes. I got a couple of coats of clear coat on these spoons. Get those glossed up and then dry for a little bit, and I'll curl them again. Good the head, skull. Again, these don't have to be perfect by any means. I just want to use them as tests. Enough. It's dry. An hour or so like the other one. The only reason I'm using this contrast paint is because I'm out of the other clear blue I used when I did the Mr. Freeze head. Because the Mr. Freeze colors are basically the same damn color as this. As these skin tones, so this was the next closest thing I had was this contrast paint I bought for, I don't know, I probably bought it from Mr. Freeze. If I remember correctly. Okay. But see how I mean, it's a super saturated clear paint. Alright. I'm going to go seal these skin tones. You stay. So let those dry naturally. Sounds good. Good coat of sealer on those. Allow me to do the next steps. I'm going to put those back here. They don't accidentally spray color on top of them like last time. So in the meantime, I can work on. Unfortunately, I need to get more greedy gold. It's a really good color. Do an oil wash. Select the so the wicked sculpt. Which parts go blue? Blue, blue, blue. So this all goes red. Red. And this gets like a dark blue trim. Okay, gotta think about that. Oh, I gotta prime the bottom of this. Let's do that. Brush table set on. It can be finicky on flat surfaces. Yeah, so the red I used was out of it. It was really good. It's this color. Well, this is a technical. This is in contrast. Technical blood for the blood god. So this is a technical paint, which I don't know what all that means. It's not a fancy word for one of their lines of paints, but this is unfortunately dried out. I guess these lids don't stay sealed very long. That's what I used mostly. It's technical paint. It's out here. Right. That looks good. That dry. Yeah, so even these little busts or big busts, they take quite a bit of work. We get a lot of food today. And these probably aren't 100% dry, but we go throw my chrome on them just so I have those ready to go. You stay. Stay. be like it's. Okay. So stay there. Don't move. Don't have. A little polish on that, and it's pretty chromy. It's not mirror chrome again, but it's pretty bright. So it should be a good test bed for good test or good base for the candy. Some oil wash. It's oil wash. It's got kind of like I usually have a cup that's just got I just reuse over and over again. Oil. Once that skin tone is dry, I'm gonna send a photo to my client. Make sure he's good with it. I think he will be. It looks damn near like the renders, pretty much spot on. So for this oil wash, I've got black, I've got mud, dark mud, and a little bit of this is like a skin tone, shadow flesh, and I got this dark brown oil wash. We're gonna go all in base on all these metallics. Once it's skimmed over, we'll wipe off the excess. Put the hairdryer really good. I'll be ready for dry brushing gold on top. And then I'll bring out some of these other details with some other colors. And my oil wash is a little thicker. Your typical wash. I like to really kind of get it plugged up in the corners and stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you guys, whoever watches, actually pays attention to what I'm doing, because half the times you guys know more of what I've done than what I've done, and you know more of what I've done than I know. It's like, what did I do there? And I was like, oh, you did this, this, and this. Like, oh, okay, perfect. Trying to recreate something from a previous. This is more of a copper tone right now. That's okay, so I'm going to dry brush gold. Okay, some more gold. Try dry brush it. Yeah. Wax. I know I use greedy gold for the pop-up, so I'm going to have to make a run out to. If I try to do any more, just paste it. If I get the. There's actually like some wood texture here. I may come back in and paint that with the wood. You know, there's a lot of detail in this little vase. It actually has the same wings as the Paco's base, the Egyptian kind of wings. Slap it on there and let it dry. Should actually put this side so I get bubbles on it. Because that'll make it hard to heat. Okay. A little more wings, a little more wings. Filbert brush. Messy, messy, messy. Hopefully this turns out the way I think it's going to turn out. I have a picture in my head. A picture in my head. Hopefully this turns out the way I think it will. While this is drying, I can start base coating my hair. You stay there, Coco. Don't move. So it doesn't drip on you. Come on. Head down. You stay there. Look at all this mess on my workbench. You know. So, Tony. You're late to the party. And this is just kind of just slap this on. We're gonna let this dry. I'll wipe most of it off with a rag. Again, this is still just a base coat. And then hopefully when I go dry brush with a bright silver, it brings out some of these details in the sculpt. That's the end goal of doing all this, is that when I go to dry brush it, still look like a clean, like a bright silver, but it's got some detail into it. Really messy. Okay. Come on. Oh man, there you are. There. Just keep all this mess down on the bench. Okay. And all these oils dry pretty well. Once they skim over, I use my dirty oil rag of these for everything. I'll wipe as much off as I can. Hopefully we got like a kind of a grimy silver. It's a good base for dry brushing. That's hoping to get those parts done today. Let's switch to the green glove. This has got oil on it and stuff. I don't want to get that on this.
Hey there. Why are you so skittish? Stay there.
So a photo of the skin tones to client. Make sure he digs them. I think they look good. Like the lips a little bit. Not that saturated, what the hell? Okay, see what he says about those. If he likes that, then I can move on to working on the hair. Okay, looks great. Perfect. Moving on. He's super responsive too, so I'll have to wait for him to get a reply. Okay. For the hair, it's blonde. And blonde hair actually isn't yellow. I found out the hard way. But this has got some yellow in it. I'm going to actually start out with medium flesh as a base. This, something else with some colors we don't want on it. Good shadow color. I think it dries down quite a bit. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh. Why am I doing something? Ooh, I always do our work. Like what? I don't know. Something. I just did it again. God damn it. My gosh. Right, well, this glove obviously has shit on it, so. It came off. It's gonna be my hands clean. I know that because I have them glove on. For me. Base coated, and then we'll seal it again. Oh, now airbrush it. Oh, get the hair done. Eyebrows done. That's like the perfect base tone for this hair. We'll bring it up. Alexa, play Pandora Gunship.
Gunship Radio from Rebecca's Pandora.
Like, go to chill out music. It's techno. You're gonna brush around the edges here with a hair dryer, then slowly putty off and spray the rest of the hair to cover the brush here to get it even. So I believe they call this a meat skin tone. There's a yellow. Kind of ironic, the guy was touting how awesome of a painter he was and telling everyone how yellow their skin tones are has disappeared. Not funny how that works. That was an asshole. And he run off with a bunch of expensive statues for people, kits and stuff. I got music going. Alexa, volume up. YouTube just flags my videos. I guess they still keep them up. I'm not monetized. I haven't been monetized forever. Hey, what are you guys eating for lunch? Yeah, I'll eat my dinner.